I had been a very functional adult, like I'm sure most people have at some point, but I had spent approximately 3 years bedbound for the most part. And when I say bedbound, I mean like spending time in my room, laying down, chronically fatigued, sometimes not even going out of the house for 3, 4 weeks at a time, very depressed, non-functional, crying all the time. I had 2 children, 2 adult children that were in college, but they were coming back and forth, and I was living at my parents' house. And I had quit my job, obviously, and was pretty much dependent on my folks at that point because my health had just deteriorated so. And just I had gone to, like probably most people that are thinking about coming to you or have come to you, probably in the realms of 35, 40 different doctors across the country, as well as my own city, in the realms of probably 200 or so different specialty tests, looking at every different system of my body. And no one could tell me why I was in bed. A lot of medical gaslighting, a lot of it's in your head. You know, we don't know, this test isn't telling us anything. I think the last one I had grabbed onto was an endocrinologist that had told me I may have some type of pituitary tumor, but then that never came to fruition. So at this point, my body was breaking down so bad that I had honestly just felt like, I was going to die and nobody could help me. And I was raised in a medical family, and I'm 47 years old. I was 47 at the time, and I thought, dear Jesus, if no medical professional could help me, then what am I doing? And I get crying. I get very emotional over it because I'm thinking back at that time, and it was very upsetting to me just to put myself back there. Yeah, I had gone on Instagram to do a lot of searching like we all do, internet. And I had seen your Instagram, and I had followed you for a long time, and I had talked to my family about you. And what you had said really in your little post had really resonated a lot with me. And but at the same time, you were a functional medicine person, and that didn't align with my upbringing, number one. And it didn't align at all with my family because we were medical people.
Mm-hmm.
But it kept resonating with me. And then once I spoke to you, and I knew the cost and whatnot, and then again, I kept going back to other people wanting support because I was a people pleaser and I needed their support. It didn't matter what I was thinking. And I kept not getting it. But at the same time, I kept not getting any answers anywhere. And then finally, I said to myself, what am I doing? Nobody else is laying around in bed for 3 years. And so I said, this is my money. Nobody else is living the misery I was living. So I decided to, take the plunge and do your program. And it was at that point, that specific point, I know it was by far the biggest, the best decision I have made. And I get so emotional, not because I'm an emotional mess, because I'm not, just because I feel so blessed that I finally listened to myself. Because if I didn't, I honestly feel that I would have continued to just be in that bed, and I would have just been so miserable for the past couple of years still. And I feel so thankful that I made that phone call and that I made that and I listened to myself, because where I'm living now is I'm living today and all those goals that I told you I wanted to be in. That first time I worked with you, and you said, "Well, where do you want to be in a couple of years, or where do you want? What are those goals you want to be in?" And I said, "I want to be self-sufficient again. I want to live a happy life. I want my children to be happy because they don't want to see their mother like this, and I want to feel happy. And even though you see this, it's because I feel so blessed and so happy that I'm here, you know, and I feel like I've really set myself free. And I get emotional over that. So, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. You've come a long way, I know. And it's hard to talk about this
It's
sometimes.
very hard to
It,
talk about.
yeah. It's still very sensitive, right? But
It's
I mean,
very simple
what,
because
yeah.
because I'm a clinical social worker, and I never wanted to go to a therapist because I thought I don't want to sit in a therapy office and then tell me the things that I would tell somebody else. I don't want to be therapized. And,
Okay.
and I feel like, well, I've done the genograms, I've done this, I know what's in my family history, I know what's this, I know what that is. And, I know what's in my background, I know what is upsetting to me, I know where the addictions come from and blah, blah, blah. But it's totally different what we do and how you come, how, and I never thought I was being victim. I never thought I was being a victim of myself. And I never felt like I was giving my power away. I never thought all of these other things about myself. And it was just truly an awakening experience for me.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm going to be honest, I was on food stamps at the time, but I said to myself, I will get the money because it's a choice between living or dying. And if this is living, I don't want to live anymore because I don't want to live in this bed. I don't want to live. And I want to live for my kids. I want to see them grow up. I want to see them this. I want to see them that. But if this is the living where I have to wake up and just feel awful and hurt and be in emotional pain and hate that my family, that my kids don't want to bother me, that's not living. And I finally came to that conclusion and I thought, I will sell something. I will sell whatever I need to do. I will get you the money. And that's what it came down to. And my voice, it just came up and it said, as I watched my parents take over and, you know, took my kids out to eat and, they were trying. They just didn't know how to help me. And I didn't know how to help myself until finally one morning I woke up and I said, no more. I can't handle anymore. You know how they say alcoholics will only help themselves when they hit rock bottom? Well, I was at my rock bottom and I said, no more.
Mhm. Like, what was the point when you joined the program that you knew this felt right for you, even though you might have had some doubt?
It clicked. It clicked for me almost immediately, and because I was so isolated,
Yeah.
as I was so isolated, and I felt like no one had gone through what I had gone through. And when you get on the group meetings and you hear that other people have, in fact, gone through very similar to what you have gone through, people, not of physicians and doctors' visits, and how they feel about their own families. And it's very, it may not be the same words or whatever, but the experiences, the emotion is still the same.
Mhm.
And once you hear that, and you hear these people are fighting just like you are, that makes you feel a sense of, okay, they get it, because you feel like you're so alone in this, and that nobody has gotten what's going on with you. And once somebody understands your pain and your misery and the uphill battle you're fighting, somehow, for some reason, that makes you feel better. Not that you want to wish it on anybody,
Mhm.
but you know, there's a power in group. I received my power back, that I understand that I'm worthy, and that not only am I worthy, but am worthy of space in this world, and the power of forgiveness. But yeah, we had this test, and it said that I had a high level mold in my system. And then I kept having all this dent work being done. About 15 years ago, when I had severe anemia, it came out that I had to have, we thought it was due to the severe anemia that I had all these breakdowns and caries and cavities and bridge work done. And we thought it was because of the anemia. And fast forward to, about this past year or two, all that bridge work and dental work had started breaking down. And so they had to pull a tooth, and I went to go get an implant in it. And when they did a cone beam scan, the dental implant doctor came in and he said, "Listen, I know you want an implant here, but we have a bigger problem going on." And then he showed me my scan, and he showed me where I had a hole in a tooth, or in a tooth that had not had any problems with it, the front tooth, where the hole went from here all the way into my nasal cavity, a complete line. And he said, "You have some kind of infection that is eating your skull. And you are, and then that infection is going throughout your blood system, and it's making you septic." And so that is what was a big thing of what was causing me to be very chronically fatigued and ill. And then once he got in there and got in all of that, took that tooth out, and got all of that infection out, probably within a week, I felt 110% better, and the edema and swelling in my body went down so much. I can't even explain to you how much it went down. I would say definitely don't give up. Don't ever give up. Stop searching for an answer to your problems. And because I was that person who was on the brink of giving up. And so I'd say never stop giving up. Even if you're going to give up, do one more thing. And it's kind of like what I tell my own kids he's a senior in engineering school, and he's just, "Mom, I just want to give up." And I say, remember in football when you're on the line and they tell you to just keep moving those knees up and down, keep going, keep going, keep going when you're tackling someone on the line, and they just say, "Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving." I'm like, remember that? And I'm like, just keep doing that, and you'll get through it. You'll get through it, because there is an answer to the reason your body's breaking down. There is a reason. You just haven't gotten to the right person to help you with that yet. You haven't found your answer yet. Working in a hospital, I see it, where they're just coming in and treating, you know, they don't know what to do with autoimmune patients. And I see it in the hospital, and it's just, I just see it, and I just want to tell them to, go to a functional medicine person, have different kinds of tests be run, because the pain is just, they just don't know what to do with them. And yeah, it's just a different mindset, and I know it because I've been in it. So if you can just open up your whole brain to the concept that yes, this is different than what we've all been taught since the day we were born, since what we were taught in elementary school, in high school, and college. But to if you're not getting if you're not getting any progress, then there's a reason why you've got to open up your framework to invite something different in to get results.